Welcome back, everybody. Sive Morten is here with the Forex Peace Army.com. Let's take a look again on the Bitcoin market. So last time we have taken an in-depth view on the Bitcoin, what stands on the back of this collapse. Pointing on the Japan is one of the reasons for that. And with detail discussed some technical background that keeps very small room for a possible reversal. It's only might happen if on the political level, for example, United States will provide some liquidity, I don't know, maybe take part in interventions, for instance, printing dollars, selling them and buying Japanese yen, so supporting the Japanese yen currency. In this case, situation theoretical could be stabilized, but it's a very tricky question. So at what degree, whether they will take part in all this stuff or not, Japan will have to struggle with it alone. But speaking on the situation, how it stands right now, Bitcoin stands under significant bearish pressure because all efforts that Bank of Japan and the government have made brought no fruits, and actually I would say that even has become worse. And in the current circumstances, it's very difficult to find reasons for investors when they see the yields on the Japan around 3.5%. Borrowing for 3.5 and buying Bitcoin that bears no interest, especially with such a characteristics of asset itself with so huge volatility. That's logically makes pressure on the Bitcoin performance. So on a monthly chart, I do not see something really special. Market stands at the same support area. Testing of the pivot point hasn't led to any breakout, so it was mostly signs of weakness when the market tested pivot point, which is actually splits the part of the potential trading range for this year for the bullish and for the bearish, and it remains on the bearish zone. That's important. Now moving to our major chart, which is actually set the all background on the weekly, we have two grabbers. As I said, if Bitcoin dropped here, we could get even another grabber, and that has happened. So first we've got 2 weeks ago, this one last week, and together they actually has the same target and suggest a downside drop. With this type of performance, it's very difficult to suggest some possible reversal, despite what you see on intraday charts. So speaking generally, to return back Bitcoin on the bullish side, you have to get upper direction above the top of this grabber, so it has to return back to the 100 area approximately. In this case, you could say yes, probably we are getting something because markets start forming some bullish performance, bearish patterns are erased, triangle once again has been broken in opposite direction, and that could suggest the changing of the sentiment. So you can see this really big distance. In the current circumstances, in the current situation, obviously the context remains bearish. On the daily chart, you also could see that flag has been broken down. And as I said, so to change the situation, market has to return back to this resistance, at least. Currently, bulls have very small things to count on. Yes, here is market Bitcoin is trying to make some pullback, some reversal inside of it, but on the daily chart, we have to recall this pattern, guys. Previously, we already saw it. XLP target 79.55. It's the minimum target that stands in a row with the grabbers that we have on the weekly chart. So market should drop right back down, reach these lows, and complete the XLP. In such circumstances, I do not see actually good reasons for making an attempt at taking a long position on the market. As I said, we have to get really solid signs, solid patterns before taking such a decision. Here's market is not oversold anymore. So if last week on the first drop here it was oversold, as I showed you, currently you can see that no oversold, so market easily could complete the target. It's no problem. Speaking in lower time frames, first of all, on the 4 time frame chart, you could see that market was not able to complete our 92 target. So we said, take a look, this might be some double repo buy pattern. This spike has happened, but it was not enough to complete the target. So target of the 50% of this whole thrust down was standing somewhere around 92.50, and market was not able to reach it. it's also signs of weakness. So in fact, here we've got kind of the ABCD pattern, something like this. Now, as I said, you can see some minor pullback here, but it's difficult to call as a bullish sign. At least if we take a look at the hourly chart, here's 2-hour chart. At least for changing the sentiment and making the suggestion that perhaps is changing, we need to get something like this. So some reversal pattern. Maybe it will be a hand shoulders. So without it, and with the bearish grabbers on the back on the weekly chart, I wouldn't bet currently on taking the long position on the Bitcoin. Yes, some spikes might be there, might go on from the market makers, some other tricks. Bitcoin right now is definitely the object of the tricks among the big players. Very thin market, low liquidity, big control by the EBIT fund, by the BlackRock, by the strategy. It's having lots of coins, they could really move markets easily. So I wouldn't pay too much attention to short-term fluctuations if even you will see some up or down, something like this. Yeah, yes, we've got it here, but what has happened next? This might be the same. Pay more attention to the higher standing patterns. I mean, high time frames and weekly, daily at least, where it's more difficult to manipulate because there's really big scale. And there's patterns that we have more value and more representative. So that's all for now. Let's see what will happen. For the bulls, I said what we need to wait. For the bears, guys, we just will be watching for pullback here and see what level market could reach. Then make a decision. Maybe we will consider taking the short position. Now we just need to see what the shape of the market will be here.